Good morning, Mr. Villan. So this is the yearly board meeting video for the Hotel Augusto, and we are departmental managers, Rex, Eileen, Ely, Phoebe, and James. And we are here to report to you what we have done successfully for the second year, and also incorrectly, and also what we think we should do to be the best in the next year.
Good morning, guys. For the room situation, Q1 was low seasons, and hence the room rate was around 260 to 310 Swiss francs. The total gross room revenue was 700,000 Swiss francs. Guests were happy with our room rates, and they said the price will bring them back. So we succeed in having more loyal guests. According to the seasonality, from July to September, the city will be full of tourists. However, the occupancy rate was low, caused by the low level of advertising, so we didn't increase too much of the price. For Q4, the room rate was good to the guests, so we did not decrease the price. Total revenue is around 800,000 Swiss francs. And for the limitation, in the first 2 quarters, our room rate adjustment was not flexible enough, although it had been adjusted, and we ranked the 3rd of the market share. Our room prices were still lower than the average price among the competitors. So the ADR was lower, and our RevPAR was low too, because RevPAR is equal to ADR multiplies occupancy rates. And hence we had less room revenue for the year. The revenue decreased 8% from the first year. For the recommendation, we should adjust the room rate more often according to the average price, and we should set a higher price, which is around 450 Swiss francs, so that rooms can have more revenue, due to revenue minus cost is equal to profit. With the revenue increase, the cost remain or increase a bit. The gross profit will increase as same as the net income. However, guest satisfaction might be worse and we might lose some guests. So we might have to compensate the guests and improve our services to keep them stay, which might contribute to variable costs also. But we can try to improve our service quality by training to decrease the expenses and to save our profits. So budget for next year is about 2 million Swiss francs.
Now I will talk about what mistake we have done in the F&B department. Our biggest mistake is that we didn't properly control the food quality. So which means we didn't adjust our inventory well, and also we didn't adjust it with the updated occupancy rate. Based on the numbers, we have calculated our inventory turnover rate is 1.83 times per year. But comparing to the normal rate, which is around 48 times a year, that is really low. So it means our food is out of fresh. That is the reason why we have a really low guest satisfaction, and also we are losing our loyalty customers.
In order to reach the goal of our CEO, we have done several strategies to achieve that. And overall, in 2018, there's still a positive trend in our hotel. And we can see from the numbers, the revenue raised massively. And based on our performance, we adjusted several strategies like first, based on the distribution of the resident and non-resident guests, we decided to put more attention to the non-resident guests, like the promotion and also offering more package. And also we decided to increase the price of breakfast because we found that there was more guests coming for the breakfast rather than the lunch and dinner. They prefer to stay in the property. And we also increased the price of our beverage in the 3rd quarter. Due to the coming event, push up the demands and give us the opportunity to raise our price and also to maximize our revenue. Meanwhile, we have added room service and also the minibar service to increase the guest satisfaction. And in order to be and remain the best hotel, as we mentioned before, first thing we need to do for next year is that to improve our food quality, which means we need to maintain higher turnover rate. And our objective is achieving 45 times per year. And also we plan to open a DIY restaurant in our hotel. And we also use the DIY restaurant to consume our food inventory in order to maximize the efficiency of the cost. The other thing we need to pay attention is that the performance of residents' consumption are not really well. We should put more promotion and for the in-house F&B and also improve the service and food quality in order to maintain the loyalty relationship between the guests and us.
Well, for the marketing, as we can see on this graph, our transit guest was 110 in January. But it's getting lower because we don't do that much promotion and advertising in Q3 and 4. Because we did lots of advertising in year 1. We think people were already familiar with us, so we decreased the variable cost of commission fee to save expense and to increase the profit. However, in year 2, the least invest caused the low occupancy rate, and due to that, we also had lower ADR. Our RevPAR were lower than the competitors. The limitation was that we didn't invest lots in the marketing advertising at the beginning, so we lost the opportunity to start promotion earlier. According to the RevPAR minus cost equal gross profit, our limitation can be the high commission fee lead to the high variable cost. Although we have more room revenue, but the gross profit can still be low after minus the cost. So in year 3, we should focus more on customer loyalty program and invest more on OTA to attract more transit guests and open new market. The budget for marketing and advertising is around 3 million this year, which is total gross room revenue times 5%. But the final result achieved the expectation. So in year 3, we wanted to increase the budget. It will be the gross room revenue times around 8% to 10%. And the budget of marketing department will be around 1,400,000 for the whole year.
And for the HR department, because in the first year our staff level was too high with about 207%, so we tried to decrease the staff level to 100%. In the last year, by decreasing the staff numbers in low season and cutting budget for training from 200 Swiss francs each person to 20 Swiss francs for each. And the result turns out that it ended up with 124%. And compared with year 1, the salaries decreased about 16% in high season. And in this way, we thought might saving us more profit due to that we have less variable costs. But these actions impact negatively in a way. The training was not enough that caused the staff competence was low, especially for grassroots staffs. For example, the average competence in food and beverage was only 32%. And this situation led to the lack of the skills and low satisfaction, which caused the less revenue and less growth operating profit also. So in order to compensate against us for this, we had more variable costs and the profit went even lower. And in the future, we should keep decreasing our staff level to around 120 in June in the third year. And we should improve our general recruitment staff standard and hire more professional staffs based on the scenario. And beyond that, we will increase 75% of our training budget to 8 Swiss francs for each person per month. And the average staff competence should keep on 50% at least. And these measures will make us more variable costs, but it will increase the guest satisfaction so that we are going to get more revenue. And these are necessary factors to be more successful.
So for the maintenance department, in the last year, we started the refurbishment early in the first 2 quarters. And the mistake was that we thought that refurbishment were enough and we wanted to reduce the cost of the innovation and to increase the gross operating profit in low season in the last quarter. So we didn't do refurbishment in the quarter 4. And the limitation of this action was that the guests were not happy with the low level of refurbishment. And for the satisfaction, we only got around 52.92% for the rooms and 47.42% for the public areas, which caused the room revenue decreased from 2,866,000 to 2,824,000. So for the next year, we should refurbish usually and pay attention to the seasonality. And for the facilities, in order to reduce the variable cost to increase the gross operating profit, we did not invest many facilities in quarter 1, 2, and 4. For the quarter 3, because of the high season, we provided the guest business center, the travel desk, and so on facilities to offer services and gain revenue. The limitation was that we had no new facilities for the low seasons to bring out the revenue. So in the next year, we might consider to invest some facilities separately in low season also to provide new services and attract more guests. Hence, we will have more revenue. So overall, this is the balance sheet of the second year, and the current ratio of our hotel was 11.5, which is really high and shows the ability of turning the assets into revenues of our hotel. However, it is too high and states that we did not invest enough. And by comparing the second year and the first year, we remained the GPO percentage on around 51%, and it increased 0.5% in the second year. And this is the provisional income statement for the third year. According to the recommendation we set before, the revenue of rooms and F&B would increase accompanied with the increase of room price and food price. ADR increased, and due to that, we are going to spend 3% more on marketing to increase the occupancy rate. The RevPAR will then increase rapidly. We have to spend more food costs and replace the inventory more often, which will also contribute to a lot to the expenses of F&B, around 10% more. So accordingly, by calculating for next year, we will have more revenue than the second year, and the net income will decrease comparing with the second year. However, we're still confident that we can manage well the hotel. Thank you and goodbye.